You went in for a chair. You didn't buy a chair. You bought candles, a bath mat, 3 plants you have no idea where you'll put, a bag of frozen meatballs you never wanted. The chair is somewhere in the trunk, buried under all of it, like an afterthought. Nobody forced you. Nobody lied to you. You just walked into a building, and 45 minutes later, you weren't the same shopper who walked in. So what happened in there? The answer isn't willpower. It isn't carelessness. It's architecture. Every wall, every turn, every shortcut you couldn't find was built by someone who understood your brain better than you understand it yourself. Start with the floor plan. IKEA stores don't have a normal layout. There are no straight aisles. There's no quick way to the exit. Instead, there's one long, winding path that pulls you through the entire store, department by department, whether you like it or not. This isn't an accident. It has a name. In the 1950s, an architect named Victor Gruen pioneered the modern shopping mall. He wanted something closer to a town square, a place people would linger. But retailers noticed something else about his designs. Shoppers who entered focused on one item would drift, browse, and leave with far more than they came for. Researchers named the phenomenon after him, the Gruen Transfer. It describes the exact moment a shopper's focused intent, "I need one specific thing," quietly dissolves into open, receptive wandering. Gruen himself came to dislike what his idea became. IKEA didn't invent this trick. It simply built an entire building around it. Think about the last time you tried to just leave. You looked for a shortcut. There wasn't one. The path curled you past sofas, then rugs, then a fake living room with candles glowing on a shelf. Each room is staged like a tiny movie set, not a shelf of products. The retail anthropologist Paco Underhill spent decades studying how people actually move through stores, timing exactly how long shoppers lingered before buying something. His finding was consistent. The longer you stay inside a store, the more you buy. IKEA's maze isn't confusing by accident. It's confusing on purpose, because confusion means time, and time means money. But the maze alone doesn't explain everything. By the time you reach the marketplace near the end, packed with candles, frames, and kitchen gadgets, you've already made dozens of small decisions. Which fabric? Which shelf height? Which rug color? Each one seems tiny. Each one still costs you something. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. Every choice draws down a limited reserve of mental energy, the same way a muscle tires with use. The more decisions you make early, the less resistance you have left later. The psychologist Sheena Iyengar at Columbia University has shown that too many decisions don't just tire us out, they change how we decide. In her well-known JAM study, shoppers offered fewer options actually bought more often than shoppers offered many. Too much choice doesn't sharpen judgment, it exhausts it. By the time you reach the checkout candles, you're not evaluating carefully anymore. You're choosing on impulse. You're not weak-willed in that moment. You're mentally depleted. And a $2 candle at eye level, right next to the register, requires almost no evaluation at all. It's an easy yes when your brain has run out of energy to say no. There's a third layer, and it's the most subtle one. The mere exposure effect, first documented by the psychologist Robert Zajonc, found that the more we're simply exposed to something, the more we tend to like it, even without knowing why. Walk through IKEA's staged rooms, and you're not just seeing furniture. You're seeing entire lifestyles, repeated room after room. A cozy reading nook, a calm, sunlit bedroom. By the time you reach the warehouse, you've absorbed dozens of small visions of a better, more organized life and started associating the products with that feeling. The candle isn't just a candle anymore. It's a piece of the life you just imagined 20 rooms ago. That's the real product IKEA sells, not furniture. A feeling of order and possibility, delivered one small object at a time. Notice what you actually end up buying. Rarely the big furniture. Mostly the small stuff, because small, cheap items require almost no deliberation. Your brain doesn't register a $2 item as a decision worth resisting. Add up 10 of them, though, and you've spent as much as the chair you came for. Then there's reciprocity. Free pencils, free parking, cheap breakfast. None of it feels like a sales tactic. It feels like generosity. But the psychologist Robert Cialdini, who spent his career studying influence, identified reciprocity as one of the most powerful forces in human decision-making. When someone gives us something small and unasked for, we feel a quiet pull to give something back. Inside IKEA, giving something back looks like filling your cart a little fuller than planned. None of this required a hard sell. No pushy salesperson ever approached you. You never once felt pressured or tricked. That's exactly the point. The most effective persuasion doesn't feel like persuasion at all. It feels like your own idea. And this isn't unique to one furniture company. Casinos remove clocks for the same underlying reason IKEA removes shortcuts. Grocery stores place milk at the very back for the same reason IKEA places the exit past the marketplace. Once you see the pattern in one building, you start noticing it everywhere. So here's the real question. The next time you walk into a store built like this, will you notice the walls guiding you? Will you catch yourself reaching for the candle you didn't come for? Probably not. Because the whole system is built to work below the surface of your awareness, and knowing about it doesn't fully protect you from it. You went in for a chair, and you'll probably go in for a chair again. You'll probably walk out with candles, plants, and kitchen tools once more. Not because you're careless, but because somewhere between the entrance and the checkout line, your brain quietly agreed to a plan you never actually made.